This is Ramona's Gift to Music, the podcast where we connect with individuals who are committed to making a positive impact on the musical lives of youngsters.
Hello, I'm Michael Cuellar. I'm the co-founder of Ramona's Gift to Music Foundation. We are a 501c3 that is devoted to bringing the gift of music to children. You know, we talk often about musicians and people that support our foundation, and not too often do we actually talk about some of the venues here on Long Island that are a big part of what we do and how we bring the gift of music to children and to others. So today I have Rose, who is the general manager of 89 North Music Venue in Patchogue and the Warehouse in Amityville. Rose, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, like I said, you know, we're always talking about musicians, right? Yeah. And the students that get to see them and what they do. But, you know, 89 North, the Warehouse, they're incredible venues that, you know, we have hosted events for us. And the talent of musicians that come through there. So for you, how long have you been with 89 North, some of the things that you do over there, your responsibilities, and maybe when you met Kevin Sheehan, who's the owner of
He's the brains
both.
Behind everything.
Right.
He is.
Yes.
So we've been in 80. He took over 89 North after the pandemic, right after the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So what? It's been almost 5 years now,
yeah,
right?
5 years.
And he at the Warehouse he opened up actually before the pandemic.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
I've been with Kevin for 11 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, and working for him. He's an amazing guy.
Really supports the musicians on Long Island and what he offers, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. He is. I think one of the things that it drives the clubs, both of them, is that he is so musician centric. He's so like he really respects what they do,
right.
And he respects them.
Right.
You know, we get some great bands at both places.
Oh, yes.
You know, and you know, they get a call from Kevin and they're like, "Hey, Kev, what do you want?" You know, because he's built up such goodwill and such a good relationship.
The venues are amazing. 89 North holds how many? Would you say, give or take?
It give or take. You know, depending we have our outside patio.
Right.
So I'm going to say maybe around 5, 6. You know, it really depends.
That is a nice area out there. That was just done a few years ago, I believe, right? Was it
that
done?
Was one of the things he did when he first came in.
Sure.
He redid the entire patio. He actually. It was closed in with like bushes and stuff. He opened it all up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's fantastic there.
So,
and the Warehouse over in Amityville, does it hold is the capacity around the same?
It holds a little less. It holds closer to the in the 2s and 3s.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely a more intimate venue.
Yes.
Which is a great place. He books a lot of tribute bands there as far, you know, like we have Thursdays are tribute nights because it gives that intimate feel in that setting. Like you actually get to relive your, you know.
That feeling close to the band and feeling on top of everything that's going on.
Right.
That is a great venue. It really is. Yeah. There is one other venue that he has, right? I believe?
He has a smaller place. It's called Prohibition in Massapequa.
Right.
That is, first off, I love the interior of the Prohibition.
Right.
If you've never been, it's literally like you're walking into, you know, almost like a basement speakeasy.
Right.
When he took over that place, he went in, he redid the whole thing, you know, with his partner by himself. And what he does is he gets like it's a smaller venue, so it doesn't hold as much.
Right.
And what it does is, and it's got that local smoky feel to it. So he gets the smaller bands in there, you know, like 3 pieces and some 4 pieces. So
that's a nice feel in those places. It really is. Very intimate.
Honestly, if I'm going to go someplace just to hang out and listen to some music, I'll sneak into Prohibition. You know?
Well, we're big fans, first of all the locations. I mean, 89 North, the Warehouse, we go to regularly. My wife and I love going out to see live music. Who doesn't?
Right.
Who doesn't?
Absolutely.
You know, we talked a little while ago, we were talking about the talent on Long Island and the musicians and the groups that are out there. And it's just an amazing community, isn't it?
The community is beyond amazing. You know, first off, like you said, the depth of the talent, sometimes it makes it hard to who do you get, because everybody is so good and so talented. But beyond that, they are so giving. Like if you want a community that will come together, you know, at the least little thing, Long Island music community, no matter what the genre of music is, if you go to most of them, they're like, what do you want us to do?
Right.
how can we help?
Right.
You know,
And their support.
They are so supportive.
Yeah.
You know.
It's something in the nature of artists, I think.
I think so too. Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
They want to give.
You
You
know?
know, when we talk about, again, Ramona's gift to music, that's what
Right.
we talk about. And we've had other musicians on Long Island who've supported us and been a big part of it. 89 North certainly has. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we've done 3 years now where we've had our showcase,
Yes.
where we've had a chance to,
Which we love, by the way.
Oh, we love.
You guys are amazing because the children, the fact that it's the music. I'm so sorry.
No, no. That's
The music that it's involving the children. It's getting them from such a young age and getting
Right.
them engaged.
Right.
You know, it's
They
great.
get an opportunity to be on a real stage.
You're right.
With a real sound man who really helps them with setup and everything.
Yeah.
That experience alone. Plus, when we've had the other professional bands play beforehand that they get to see.
Right.
You know, we were talking about Radio Flashback earlier. You know, one of the first groups the first year we did it. But you guys do such a wonderful job for us over there. Are other fundraisers? Do other groups do fundraising over at 89 North or at the warehouse as well? That you
Yes,
guys,
we do. That, and again, going back to, you know, how great the musicians are, you know, that's one of the things too that I appreciate working with Kevin.
Right.
Okay, is because he's always so receptive to fundraisers. We actually do a School of Rocks that they have their showcases in there, you know, speaking about children.
They just
you know.
recently had it, I think,
Right.
too, right?
And we
Yeah.
have a few different music schools, but we also do fundraisers for animals.
Mm-hmm.
We do coat drives out of both places. Right. You know, like there's not Kevin, can I have abandoned a fundraiser to raise money for this animal sanctuary? Right. What date do you want? You know, that's, you know, it's,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. That's fantastic. It really
Yeah.
is. And there's so many people looking to do good deeds. You
Right.
know, to have a place
Yeah.
that recognizes that and supports it is just amazing.
Yeah.
And the staff there is wonderful. I mean,
thank
we
you.
really do look forward to that every year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've had people ask if we could do it twice a year. So, you know, we're looking into that. But we'll take one step at a time.
Absolutely. Can I get my book out? Can
You
we
have it.
book it?
We can book a date immediately. But it really is a wonderful place.
Right.
You know, you talk about the talented musicians that are there. We were talking about the performers on Long Island, and it's interesting because it was just a few weeks ago. We went there and we got to see Mike Del Giudice, right? I mean, you talk about somebody whose popularity and so well known nationally and beyond,
Right.
right?
Right.
How long did he start performing there? You know, it's been some time now, hasn't it?
So actually, he started his first show that he did
Right.
was at the warehouse. You know, and I'm not 100% sure how that came about. That was just something was like, Michael Del Giudice is playing on this date.
Right.
And the response was so overwhelming.
Oh, I can imagine.
You know, and that it was just it was a no-brainer to move it to 89 North because, you know, his crowd. And he's again, speaking of how great musicians are, he is so receptive to everybody.
Right.
You know, it's amazing to watch.
Always heard wonderful things
It is.
about him, and the performance, of course, is
Yeah.
just amazing and stuff. The night we
So
were there,
good.
he was on drums,
Yes.
he's an incredible talent. It
He-
really is.
he really
but to
is.
have, again, the local bands that are playing there, the talent is
Off the charts.
beyond words.
It really is. It really is. And we were saying this earlier. It doesn't matter what type of music it is.
Right.
You know, we have classic rock. We have 90s bands. You know, we have the traveling bands that come in too. You know, playing different kinds of music. And you just sit back. Sometimes I'll just sit there and listen and be like, wow, I get to do this for a living. To hear these great musicians.
Is that amazing?
It is amazing.
Are they all open every day? Or I know, you know, obviously Thursday, I know through Saturday, Sunday. Is it most nights that they're open with bands? Because
No.
I've seen country bands there, I think, on Wednesday nights maybe, or Thursday nights.
We do, so at 89, we
Right.
have Wednesdays, we're open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
You know, some Sundays for events, some
Right.
Thursdays for events.
Right.
You know, we'll open up on Monday and Tuesday for a special event, like we have Funk Philharmonic
Right.
coming up at 89 North.
When is that one? Because I know that's one I've been wanting to really see.
You'll remember this. It's Earth Day, April 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Easy enough.
So easy enough. But those are the dates that will open up. But mainly at 89, it's Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. At the warehouse, it's Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
With the same thing, we'll open up, Monday and Tuesday for special events, Sundays for special events.
Right.
We do parties, events, fundraisers. So those off nights are when we try to book those things.
So before everyone tries to find you and see if you're booking the bands,
you
do not book the bands, right? Your responsibilities, though, are managing everybody else, the staff.
My official title is cat herder.
Okay,
I herd cats. That's what I do.
That makes sense. I get it.
I just, my job is just to make sure that things run smoothly and people are where they're supposed to be.
Well,
basically,
you do a great job with it. I know it's like herding cats when we have our events there, but it's we try and keep it as organized. But again, your staff does a wonderful job with it.
Thank you.
Is there anything new going on right now at any of the venues that you would want to share with anyone?
Like I said, we have, at 89, we have Funk Philharmonic coming in. We have the 90s, a fairly famous 90s band, 9 Days coming in.
Right.
We have our country night,
And you're booking musicians not just from Long Island, because I know there's groups I've seen that are from other states, obviously. Right?
We do get tours. We've had like members of Whitesnake and members of do acoustic. That's another fun night that we do. That we do it sporadically, but we'll get the bigger names like from the bands from the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, and they want to come in and they want to reconnect with their audience, so they reconnect on our stage and they do an acoustic set.
Really?
Yeah. And
that
a meet
must
and
be
greet.
something to see. That I have to go see.
Yes,
we'll have to
it's
get
awesome.
our group out there to go see that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you do again the different types of music that are being played there, the different styles that are there. It really is open to all types of music
all
that are there.
types of music.
Right.
All types of music. They say music is a universal language, and that is something that we actually believe in.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like I said, Kevin believes in.
I think that's the connection we have certainly with Ramona's Gift to Music with you. We understand that the opportunity and what music, does for everybody and heals their souls.
Yeah.
It's my wife and I still love going out to see live bands, and everybody I talk to, there's a connection when you get to see a live band and be in that audience.
Yes.
And really get to enjoy it. It's different.
It takes you out of your head and out of whatever the day-to-day is, just for that little moment in time. To me, it almost recharges your batteries.
Right. It certainly does. When we first came to you, Ramona's Gift to Music, it was the first time you had heard about us. Kevin and it was welcoming and opened the door for us and all of that. But, your experience seeing it, how did you feel the first time when, probably not realizing what it might be?
Right. I did not know what Ramona's Gift was. And then when you guys came, I came in after. And it's such an amazing organization, that it's so much. And you guys work really hard. I don't think people realize how hard you guys work behind the scenes to actually pull something like that together. And I know for a fact we're just one fundraiser that you do. You do others throughout the years, throughout the year. It's hard.
Sure.
And people don't realize that all the planning that goes into it, and we are so grateful to be just a small part of it.
It's a big part of it because it really is something we get to showcase. The kids look so forward to it. I mean, the thought that they're going to be on a professional stage just is, they are lining up to be up there. And as you saw, we have all different types of music. One year we had someone just performing on a harp.
Yeah.
We had some classical music. We had jazz music. We had the rock bands, kids from Rock and Roll U.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the connection that we had with them, they were amazing.
They're so good.
Yeah, they really
good.
are.
They do their show twice a year with us, too.
They do, they're phenomenal. It's a phenomenal organization.
I'm not going to lie. One of my favorite aspects of this whole business, both at 89 and the warehouse, are the kid shows that we do, because that is the true energy that you see.
Right.
You
can see everybody just excited to be there. The students are excited to be there. The parents and people who come in from outside that want to see what it's all about.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's another way for people to realize that we're there and to give back at the same time.
Yep.
So it's a win-win.
Well, you guys do a wonderful job with it.
Thank you.
How can people look up what's going on at your venues and learn a little bit more about some of the groups that are coming through there?
So you can go to 89northmusic.com on the web, or thewarehouseli.com. All the bands that we have booked are on both of that, and you can find us on Facebook at 89 North and at the Warehouse LI.
Fantastic. Rose, thank you so much for being here. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
all you do for our foundation and others. You know, it's not just ours, but what you do for our foundation, it really makes a big difference, and we do certainly appreciate it. So look up, 89 North. Please look up the Warehouse. See the wonderful Long Island musicians and beyond that are there on a regular basis. And if you want to learn a little bit more about Ramona's Gift to Music, you can learn about us at our website at rgmfoundation.org. Our next fundraiser is taking place on April 5th at Lily's in Babylon. We hope to see you all there. Thank you.
If you've been touched by what you've learned today and would like to make a tax-deductible contribution to help further our cause, please visit rgmfoundation.org. Thank you.